Good morning, students. Continuing our last class, in earlier classes we have solved a couple of problems related to foreign exchange dealings, and we have found out how to calculate 1 month forward rate, that is outright rate, 3 months outright rate, 6 months outright rate, etc., by adding or deducting swap points. Continuing that problem, they may ask in your SEM exam for such questions like, with the help of below quotations, these are the quotations, and swap points, this is the quotation, this is the two-way quotation, which means it includes both ask and bid price, and with the help of swap points, 1 month swap point, 2 month swap point, and 3 month swap points are given. Answer the following questions. This is the first question. Later we will solve some more questions related to the same quotation. Fine. So they have given a two-way quotation, that is both bid and ask price. So to simplify this quotation, bid price is, in the given quotation, bid price is lower one, that is 1.1340, right? So bid will be 1.1340 oblique, ask is 1.1360, right, which is the higher than bid price, 1.1360. 1.1360 is greater than 1.1340. That's why 1.1360 is ask price in the given quotation and 1.1340 is the bid price in the given quotation. To remember earlier class, bid means buying price of the banker or market, buying price of the certain currency by the banker. Ask means selling price, right? So because they have asked sell and buy in these questions, we need to know which one is buying price and which one is selling price. Fine. Then the swap points given to calculate 1 month forward rate. Swap points, while reading from left to right, 10/20, that is in increasing order. Since it is in increasing order, we need to add it to the spot rate, right? So by adding it, we get 1 month forward as 1.1350/1.1360 plus 20, 1.1380, right? This is the 1 month outright rate or 1 month forward rate. Again, for 2 months, they have given 2 months swap points is 30/10. From reading from left to right, it starts from 30 and ends with 10. That means it is decreasing in order. So we need to deduct it, right? 1.1340 minus 0.0030 comes up to 1.1310 oblique 1.1360 minus 0.0010, that is 1.1350. So 2 months forward rate, bid price is 1.1310 and ask price is $1.1350 per sterling pound, right? We are calculating outright rate for 1 month, 2 month. Now it's 3 months. 3 months outright rate. From reading from left to right, it is 20/25. Since it is in increasing order, we have to add this to the spot rate, right? By adding it to the spot rate, we get 1.1360/25, 1.1385. So after 3 months, for outright rate for 3 months is bid price $1.1360 per sterling pound oblique, ask price is $1.1385 per sterling pound. That is the ask price, that is the selling price. Now, coming back to the question. So this is the first part of the solution, these things, right? In earlier two classes, we have explained how we calculate outright rate for 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, or 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever they may ask in question, right? So if it is in increasing order, we are adding it to the spot rate, and if it is in decreasing order, we are deducting it from the spot rate, right? So now the question is, an exporter wants to sell sterling pound at the end of 3 months. So this person, Mr. XYZ, wants to sell sterling pound. He is an XYZ is an individual, right? Individual or multinational company. So this individual person, exporter, wants to sell sterling pound. Sell. So he wants to sell means banker or market will buy from him, right? So if an individual is the seller, banker or marketer will eventually a buyer, right? If he wants to sell sterling pound, then the rate is, it is quite interesting, ask or bid. So bid means buying price of the market. If he is going to sell, then ultimately or eventually this market buys from him. So market offers this rate to buy sterling pound, right? So this individual person wants to sell sterling pound at the end of 3 months, right? At the end of 3 months. That means this quotation, end of 3 months. This particular question is related to 3 months, right? So at what rate? So we are discussing earlier that an individual wants to sell. If he is going to sell, ultimately marketer or banker becomes the buyer. So these are the quotations given by the banker or marketer to this person, Mr. XYZ, right? So he is getting quotation as buying price of the banker, maybe HSBC or ICICI or SBI or Bank of London or Bank of New York, whatever it is. So they buy at this rate, they sell at this rate. So this particular problem number one is related to sell. An individual is selling, that means this banker is buying, that is this is related to bid price. First of all, after seeing this question is related to 3 months, next 3 months. So we have calculated 3 months forward rate or outright rate. So this is related to 3 months quotation, and particularly it is related to bid price because this XYZ is selling the currency and banker is the buyer, marketer is the buyer here, right? So your answer will be, if an exporter wants to sell sterling pound at the end of 3 months, the rate applicable is after 3 months, buying price of an individual is 1.1360. Why this price? Because an individual wants to sell. If he is going to sell, this is the buying price of the banker, right? He will get maximum this price 1.1360. So the applicable rate is sterling pound per dollar 1.1360. Right? This is the solution to the first part of the question. Now, how much dollar he gets if he sells 1000 sterling pound? So this is, by selling 1 sterling pound, he is getting 1.1360. If he sells 1000 sterling pounds, 1.1360, he will get dollar 1,136, right? So this will be your solution. So they have asked that in the earlier problems we have discussed how we derive this outright rate by adding or deducting these swap points, right? So what happens once we get the forward rates or outright rates? So now we are solving the SEM exam questions. So this person, Mr. XYZ, intends to sell sterling pound after 3 months. So they have given only the spot rate, and they have provided the swap points. With the help of these swap points, we have calculated these outright rates, right? So by calculating these outright rates, we are concluding this question number 1, as if an exporter wants to sell sterling pound at the end of 3 months, banker will or marketer will buy at this rate, right? At the same time, this exporter intends to sell entire 1000 sterling pounds. So for 1 sterling pound, this exporter is getting $1.136. So by selling 1000 sterling pound, he is getting $1,136, right? This will be solution to your first question. Now, question number 2, they are asking an importer wants to buy sterling pound at the end of 2 months. So they are asking, if an importer excuse me, an importer intends to buy, in the first question they are asking selling price. An individual was selling the sterling pound in earlier question. In this question they are asking, if an XYZ person or an individual or a multinational company intends to buy sterling pound at the end of 2 months, you need to focus buy or sell and the time period given, right? So if an importer wants to buy sterling pound at the end of 2 months, so this is related to 2 months outright rate. So in the earlier question they were asking 3 months. Now this question is related to 2 months. So they are asking what rate, which rate is applicable to this question, right? So if answer will be, if an importer intends, if an importer wants to buy sterling pound at the end of 2 months, if an importer intends to buy sterling pound at the end of 2 months, the rate applicable is now look into these outright rates. So earlier we have discussed, we are focusing this word buy and this word 2 months. So since they have asked for 2 months outright rate, we are focusing 2 months, right? 2 months outright rates are we have solved earlier, right? 2 months outright rate, bid is 1.1310 and ask is 1.1350. So bid price is buying price of the banker and ask is selling price of the banker. Now an individual or maybe XYZ person, ABC person intends to buy. If an individual wants to buy, then ultimately banker is the seller, right? Eventually banker is the seller and an importer or individual is the buyer. If an importer or XYZ person is buying from the bank, and that must be selling price of the banker or marketer, right? Selling price means ask price of the banker. So ask price in the 2 months is dollar per sterling pound 1.1350. 1.1350. The rate applicable is ask price of the 2 months, because if an importer wants to buy, that means banker is selling at this rate. Banker is selling sterling pound at 1.1350 dollars. So if he wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds, if in a question if they ask 500 sterling pounds or 1000 sterling pounds, this rate should be multiplied by how much they are going to sell, how much they are going to buy. So 1.1350 multiplied, if they intends to buy 500 sterling pound, it should be multiplied by 500, right? So next question they are asking, third question, an individual an individual an individual wants to buy sterling pound the question is, an individual wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds today and he wants to sell that sterling pound, sell after 1 month. Quite different to other questions. So they are asking now, an individual or some person wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds today at this moment and sell after 1 month, right? So first part of the question, till today an individual wants to buy some certain amount of sterling pounds today. That means at what rate? Which rate is applicable to this question? If an individual wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds today, the rate applicable is, think about it, he intends to buy these sterling pound at this particular moment. At this moment means the rate applicable is spot rate. right? So if an individual wants to buy, if he is going to buy, then the ultimately banker or marketer becomes the seller. So he buys it from certain bank or market. So the applicable rate is ask price of the banker, right? Because an individual is the buyer. So he buys at the rate banker offers to sell, right? So spot rate ask price is dollar per sterling pound is 1.1360. The applicable rate is 1. He gets a dollar, he gets a single sterling pound by paying $1.1360. So if he intends to buy, if he wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds, then 1.1360, that is equals to 1136 dollars. So in the question they are asking, an individual wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds today. Today means the applicable rate is spot rate. If he is going to buy it from the banker, then the applicable rate will be ask price of the banker, selling price of the banker, right? Selling price is $1.1360 per sterling pound. That means if he is going to buy a single sterling pound, he has to pay $1.1360 to the banker. So in the question they are asking, if he wants to buy 1000 sterling pounds, then he has to shell out 1136 US dollars, right? So, and by continuing the question, in the second part of the question, they are asking, and he intends to sell after 1 month, right? So he bought sterling pound at spot rate, that is today, and he is going to sell same 1000 sterling pounds after 1 month. Which rate is applicable? That means if an individual wants to sell 1000 sterling pounds after 1 month, now you need to focus. He is going to sell, that is after 1 month time period in the given in the problem, right? So after 1 month, in the above outright rates, we need to focus on 1 month forward rates, 1 month outright rate. So 1 month outright rate, it is the two-way quotation. He is going to sell. Sell means if an individual is the seller, then the banker or marketer is the ultimate buyer, right? Market or banker's buying rate is given in the quotation, that is bid price. Bid means buying price of the marketer or banker. Ask price is the selling price of the banker, right? In this case, an individual is the seller. If an individual is the seller, banker or marketer is the buyer. He buys at bid price, right? After 1 month, the applicable rate is dollar per sterling pound 1.1350. That is the bid price. You can mention it as bid price. That is, if he is going to sell 1 sterling pound, he will get $1.1350. But in the question they have asked, he is going to sell entire $1,000. So he gets, entire 1000 sterling pounds. So he gets dollar per sterling pound 1.1350. That is equals to dollar 1135. $1,135 he gets after selling entire 1,000 sterling pound. In the question, he bought the same sterling pound at 1 month ago, and he is going to sell the same 1,000 sterling pound after 1 month, right? So after 1 month, the exchange rate has become 1.130 oblique 1.1350. Earlier it was, sorry, 1.1350 oblique 1.1380. Earlier, while he was buying the sterling pound on that day, 1 month ago, the exchange rate was 1.1340 oblique 1.1360. So since it is the two-way quotation, he is going to the rate applicable was ask price 1.1360 because he was buyer then. So he buys at the banker's ask price. Then after 1 month, he sells at banker's buying price, marketer's buying price, right? So in this particular problem, the first step is to calculate all the outright rates. So they have given spot rate and swap points. So first step to solve this type of question is to calculate outright rate first. So to calculate outright rate, you need to focus on swap points, 1 month swap point, 2 months and 3 months. If the swap point is given in the increasing order while reading from left to right, it has to be added to the spot rate. If it is in decreasing order, then it has to be deducted from the spot rate, right? So first of all, you have to calculate all the outright rate, spot rate and spot rate they have given, 1 month forward rate or outright rate, 2 months outright rate and 3 months outright rate. So after finding out all the outright rates, then you are going to solve all the questions they have asked, right? So in the next class, we will solve some more related, same type of questions, right? So I hope these thing, if you have any doubts in these thing, once this COVID gets over, we will solve all your doubts. Thank you.